It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Cause that's the bottom line. The Stone Cold said so.
And so, goodbye. And good night. Bang!
Settle! Because I'm better than you, and you know it. Yes, sir!
Welcome to Off the Mats with Alex Lowe's and Josh Silverberg.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. You are listening and watching us live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope everybody's starting their weekend off right. This is Off the Mat, where we only talk professional wrestling right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network every Saturday at 12 p.m. I'm your host, Josh Silberg. Of course, alongside with me at this time, my tag team partner down in beautiful Florida. Congratulations on his Tampa Bay Lightning moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Mr. Alex Lowe's, what's happening, man?
Nothing much. It's been an exciting week. I had no time to watch the Lightning game. I wish I could have, but I had so much going on at work. But I'm glad they're moving on, and I'm excited to get into all the wrestling topics that we have this week with so much to do, so little time, and it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait to talk about New Japan, the G1 Climax show, because that was I heard some great stuff about it.
It was phenomenal. We both got to watch it this morning. We got to watch the day one of it, and of course, Errol Marks called me wrong about guessing the Lightning would win this game. So I just wanted to throw it out there. He said to me, flat on the phone, Alex, you were there. He said to me, Josh, you're wrong. You're wrong. Remember that? And,
Yeah.
I mean, look, it was a great series. It was an unbelievable series by the New York Islanders. They put up a great run. They had a tough fight. They just ran to a better team in the Tampa Bay Lightning. So congrats to the Lightning. The Islanders have a bright future as well. But this is a wrestling show. Let's get to that. Before we do that, Alex, we got to go over all the network stuff. Please, please, please download our app. It is free. If you have an iPhone, go to the Apple Store. Just type in Worldwide Sports. And if you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store. My headphones look funny. I don't know what's going on. It makes my head look smaller. If you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store. Just type in Worldwide Sports. It is a free app. You get our show schedule, our bios, our profiles of all the shows, the show names. Again, I said the schedules. You get articles, content. So much to do. If you miss our show, you can rewatch it. You can not just wrestling. There's all different sports. You got the Wise Guys, the Sports Hit List, the BS Sports Show, Below the Mic, Down to the Wire, Caged in MMA, the Ryan Hickey Show. There's just the New York Jets Show. There's just so much going on, and we have more that's coming in the future. Not going to say anything, but we do have more in the future that is coming. So if you don't, if you like more than just wrestling, we got it there for you on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. And of course, go to worldwidesportsradio.com. I believe it is worldwidesportsradio.com. You can check that out. Free website. Again, a lot of good stuff on there. So if you like more than just wrestling, it's the spot to be in. And it is a free app, so you can download it anytime. Alex, what's the phone number, the Twitter, and the Facebook page our fans can reach us at?
So you can reach us on the phone line at 727-888-4295. That's 727-888-4295. Feel free to comment, give your thoughts, opinion, and everything that we go through on the discussions today. Also, you can follow us on Off the Mat, WWS at Off the Mat, WWSRN. That's at Off the Mat, WWSRN on Twitter and Facebook. Once again, that's Off the Mat at WWSRN.
And of course, I just forgot to mention for the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube. We are on every social networking platform. You could check us out all over the place. You can have your smart speakers have them play us. Again, I'm not going to do it because every time I do it, Alexa starts talking to me. So that's not happening. I know Alex finds it funny. I find it irritating. So we are going to get into our first topic, Alex. And, of course, let's recap the usual AEW NXT stuff. We'll start with AEW. And, look, I thought it was an interesting show. I thought it was a show that, excuse me, it started off interesting. Yeah, the Young Bucks come out, super kick the referee. So that's how the show began. And then all of a sudden, you know, you have FTR and Jurassic Express. I thought it was a very good match. Two completely different styles. I thought the opening match was good. MJF is continuing his promo stuff about being screwed by Jon Moxley.
Oh, and the interesting thing about the promo with MJF was he mentioned about joining a group, a faction. So you never know. He could be starting his own group, or he could be joining a group such as the group that we have with Eddie Kingston, or he could be teaming up with FTR and Shawn Spears.
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting, I felt, too. And, of course, you got the Lance Archer, Jon Moxley stuff that's being built. Sounds like Hikaru Shida is going to be trying to challenge Thunder Rosa for her NWA Women's Championship, considering that Thunder Rosa challenged Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. But I'm glad you brought up the faction part of it, because as MJF said, it's kind of like AEW is going the New Japan route, where it's like everybody's pretty much in a faction, everybody's pretty much in a group.
Everybody's going for a faction.
If you're not in a group, then it is what it is. My thoughts on this are, and I really wanted to say this out because I had it in my head last night. I really want to share it with everybody really quick, and then I'll get your thoughts on it. I have a feeling MJF is going to wind up joining the Four Horsemen kind of group. But here's what I'm thinking now too. I think that he's going to join FTR and Shawn Spears. My thought process, Alex, is I think what AEW tried to do was they tried to swerve us in a way where they wanted us to think that this Four Horsemen group was going to be started by Kenny Omega or Hangman Adam Page. But now I have a feeling they're going to go the original Elite route with the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and I feel like Cody, excuse me, because if you search Cody's on his Facebook page and stuff, he has dark pictures as well. But the interesting thing is, I feel like maybe their whole point was, Alex, was to swerve us into thinking the Four Horsemen was the key element to this whole group starting. But I think the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are going to start their faction again that they had in New Japan with the Bullet Club. And I'm starting to feel this way. What if Cody joins the Dark Order?
You never know. That could happen.
His screen on his page went black. He lost to Brody Lee. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think of all these ideas I just threw at you? I know it's a lot, but what are your thoughts on it?
So my thoughts on it is, I think Cody might team with the Horsemen, but the new Horseman faction. But if he doesn't, he might join the Dark Order, because the Dark Order has a really good amount of performers in it. You got 10, you got 5, Evil Uno, Colt Cabana, a lot of really big names in the wrestling industry that are in the Dark Order. And then, speaking of, going back to the MJF topic, he said he wants to be a lone wolf. So that's a big, big hint that he might be wanting to be a leader of a faction.
Possibility. Like I said, I could see that. But I think the bigger thing is we're starting to realize is, I think Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are going to go back to being the Elite again, as they were in New Japan, where they were heels, and I think that's the route I think it needs to go, because I feel like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in New Japan, when they were heels, were phenomenal. They were awesome. Their mic work was great, but their in-ring skills and ability were sensational. And you look at,
and then we're starting to see them go that heel route, because they went through instead of going through the face tunnel, they went through the heel tunnel on their way out after super kicking the referee. And then the week before, they were in their locker room, and Alex Marvez went to interview them, and he got super kicked outside the locker room. So I think we're slowly building towards that phase. We're slowly getting there.
But you also see Alex, too, is if you watch BTE being the elite, and not just BTE, but in the show, too, they're taking now money out of their pockets, and they're throwing them at Tony Khan, who they were supposed to be a close friendship with the three of them, and now they're just throwing money at Tony Khan. They're having no respect towards him at all. To me, I think it's a great idea if they let those three become a heel group, let them go at it. Maybe let Adam Page be the guy that they go after, and Adam Page is the face in this entire group. I think would be awesome, because you also look at BTE, they've been coming off very heelish too.
Oh yeah, they definitely have.
No anymore with Brandon Cutler. They don't have a care in the world anymore as to giving their update on what their location is or where they are. They said they're sick and tired of giving people updates on it. They're bored of it. They want something different. To me, I think it's the proper route. I think it's giving them a facelift in the sense of, okay, we've been doing AEW for about, almost a year now? A little over a year? Maybe it's time for a change in character. That could possibly be the way they go. So we'll see. I think it works really well. And my thought process is, look, I think the whole group faction thing, it's the New Japan route. It seems to be the route that they're going. And look, I'm fine with it as long as they do everything the right way.
Definitely.
But we'll see going forward on how it is. And I'm excited. I thought a guy that really stood out to me too this week was Will Hobbs. The Will Hobbs really stood out to me. Will Hobbs, I instantly see superstar material. He's a big dude. He seems to do great with John. When he came in to save John Moxley, I love that. He's already getting onto the screen, onto the airtime. When it came to that, Will Hobbs really stood out to me, and also the Miro Kip Sabian stuff is also funny as well.
And then we had the main event parking lot brawl match between Best Friends and Santana and Ortiz. The action on the vehicles, the hood of the car, was just amazing. The brutality was next level. Both teams delivered severe contact, and it was one of the best matches of the night. I loved every minute of that match and how it played out, and it was a great way to end the show.
It was the best match of the night. It was the first 5-star match rating that Dave Meltzer has given out since the pandemic. The match was sensational. I loved it, and I loved how all four guys really brought their,
Yeah, they brought their A game. They took it to the next level.
Santana and Ortiz, that's the old face paint they used in Impact when they would go in to defend the tag belts. I love that they brought that back. And Orange Cassidy getting in, of course, at the most random time possible. What else is new? But I loved it. I thought it was an unbelievable match. I thought it was a great way to close out the rivalry. I would think the rivalry is finished, but we'll see. And then, of course, Trent's mom sticking the middle finger up back at Santana and Ortiz was comical. But
that match was so good. Even Mick Foley had some really good things to say about it on Twitter.
He said, a couple of guys said it. A couple of wrestlers said it. All right, Alex, let's get to our next topic, man. Let's get into NXT, and we found out what's next for Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship. It's going to be a gauntlet match because the big announcement that came this week, October 4th, I believe, correct? Yes,
October 4th.
Is the next NXT TakeOver. So NXT TakeOver was announced this week for October 4th. We will see what they do. We have the gauntlet match, I believe, that's going to fight Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. Kushida's already in it. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've announced who the rest of them are in it. I thought Io Shirai and Shotzi Blackheart had a sensational.
Oh yeah, they stole the show with that match. It was unbelievable. I love how Shotzi Blackheart she was unbelievable in that match. She refused to quit with everything that Io Shirai was throwing at her. And I just love how she just never gave up. She kept going, and she really has great determination and grit in these matches, and it's unbelievable to see how far along she's come since a couple weeks ago and even a couple months ago.
Yeah, for sure. She's really grown. She was somebody, at first, I thought it was kind of stupid with the tank and stuff, but it's really grown on me. And I think now they're going to have, I believe, a women's battle royal next week to determine who's going to fight Io Shirai at TakeOver October 4th. And I'm interested to see who it is because, you look at the field of that match, and so far Io Shirai's fought a couple of those people. So I'm interested to see if they go a different route, if they maybe let somebody different fight. I'm not sure yet who's going to win the match.
I do have an early prediction though on that number one contendership battle royal.
Go for it. Who is it?
I'm gonna say Shotzi Blackheart because she really just continues to really go to work on these competitors, really show her energy and fire and that determination she has to win, and she never gives up. And you saw in the match against Io Shirai that she kept kicking out of everything that was thrown at her, and she has great toughness and great ring awareness and agility. Definitely one of the best matches I saw with her this week on NXT. And that's why I believe she's going to be the one that wins. Definitely goes all the way and comes out with victory.
I like that selection. I do. I like it a lot because I think she showed herself really well in the match on TakeOver. On NXT on Wednesday. I think she did a great job. She really brought out all of the assets that she possibly could, and it really stole the show. I'm going to go Rhea Ripley. In this one. I think she's somebody that she just ended the rivalry with Mercedes Martinez because, of course, the rumor is Mercedes has been moved up to the roster to be in Redemption. Ray, is that the group? Is that what they're called? What's the group called again?
It's called the I forget the group that Mercedes Martinez is in. It's
the one that the one with when
it's called the Robert Stone brand.
No, not that one. That one. What's the group? What's the group that's on Raw that always come out and they always attack everybody?
Oh, Retribution.
I said Redemption. Shows how much I watch WWE. Retribution. Redemption is me redeeming myself for trying to watch WWE every single week. But there's reports that she's in Retribution, Mercedes, so she's no longer there. And if you know, she wasn't in the Battle Royal picture. But I think Rhea Ripley has been on a roll lately. I think she's somebody that I would like to see her go one-on-one with Io Shirai. I don't want Io to lose the belt yet. Oh, man, my headphones are killing me. What's going on, Alex? It's like wonky. But I don't know. To me, I think Rhea Ripley's been on a roll lately. I like what she's doing. I've always enjoyed her as a fan personally, so I like to see her get a shot against Io Shirai. I don't know if we've seen the match one-on-one. But we had that. We had the tag team match. We had Breezango successfully defending the championships against Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel of Imperium.
And that was an unbelievable NXT Tag Team Championship match. What surprised me was how much Breezango was taking in that match. You saw Imperium deliver a belly-to-backdrop suplex and then a double crucifix that really did some damage on the tag team Breezango.
Absolutely. And to me, when I look at how the tag team division is, and I've said it constantly every week, NXT is so completely lacking tag teams right now. Just like New Japan is. New Japan is completely lacking tag teams. And not in the junior division. The junior division, I think they're fine, New Japan, but in NXT, in the heavyweight division, there's not many.
No.
And the same thing's going on in NXT right now, where NXT at one point was unbelievable in the tag team division. They had all those, DIY, FTR, Sanity, AOP.
Now it's just down to
6-1. Now
It's down to the Undisputed Era. It's down to, I think, they're kind of a tag team. They're trying to pair them as a tag team, but so far it hasn't been working.
I wanted to ask you this, Alex. What are your thoughts on Kyle O'Reilly lately coming to be the saving, helping out? What's it? He's going to fight Tommaso Ciampa next week.
Yeah, because you saw during NXT's show, you saw Ciampa take out I forget his name, but he took him out in the parking lot. Then Kyle O'Reilly came up and said, "What is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Like, why you just?"
But the last few weeks, Kyle O'Reilly, Alex, has been coming off as a face. Remember at the end of the Drake Maverick, they tried to get Undisputed Era to stop beating up Drake Maverick. So my question to you is this: do you think Kyle O'Reilly is on his way out of the Undisputed Era and maybe becoming a face in this whole situation? Because it kind of feels like that.
Maybe we could possibly see Kyle O'Reilly make his way out of the Undisputed Era, but I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think there's going to be a build towards it. I think eventually at some point, Kyle O'Reilly is going to get involved with the Undisputed Era doing something, and it's just a scenario that I'm kind of envisioning here. Say the Undisputed Era is attacking somebody. And then you have Kyle O'Reilly come out and try to break up the fight and say, what are you guys doing? Like, why are you doing this? And I feel like they're going to get into a confrontation, and eventually that's going to lead to the split of Kyle O'Reilly walking out of Undisputed Era.
I only asked that because, back in the day in Ring of Honor, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly had a big rivalry for the championship. So, I mean, I look at the situation in the sense that, in regards to how they're going about this, they're doing it's kind of a slow build. When you look at the whole thing, and it's interesting because again, it just seems very random. But who knows? Maybe they're trying to break up the Undisputed Era. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. But as far as I can see, I honestly think that's the way Kyle O'Reilly's going to go out if they decide to have him leave Undisputed Era.
Sure. All right, Alex, let's get to our last topic before we go to break, and let's get into it, man, because it's something interesting, and it is news that, you talked about. So if you would like to share it with everybody and give your thoughts on it.
So Jeff Hardy signed a new WWE contract, and this is on Wrestling Inc., and this is interesting because I honestly did not think that Jeff Hardy would re-sign with the WWE. And originally I thought he was going to leave and go join his brother in AEW because he's so underutilized in the WWE. They don't book him enough for enough matches. And they haven't really been building him up to be like a great face in the company and really push him to the next level as a champion. But here's the interesting thing. In an interview I did on BT Sports, like WWE's little segment thing, he said he's bringing back the music No More Words that he used to come out with in 2010, 2009, and then he said he wants to do this eventually towards the end of his career. He wants to bring in his gimmick from TNA, Willow, and have Willow go up against The Fiend. So that would be a very interesting feud. I would love to see the Fiend and Will-O-the-Wisp take on each other. That would be a great way for Jeff Hardy to end his career in WWE.
I think the whole thing is kind of weird. I've read reports too that they kind of want Jeff to be in the backstage creative role per se. I've read that too. I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know if he would have went to AEW, because if he went to AEW, people would have said, "All right, he's just following his brother." And I don't think Jeff wants to do that.
I think he wants to finish his career in WWE. But I do want to ask you this, Josh: what are your thoughts on Jeff Hardy possibly bringing his alter ego Will-O-the-Wisp?
That's an interesting one, Alex. I tell you what, that I you know me, I'm an Impact Wrestling fan, so I watched TNA for years, and I remember when he was Willow. I don't know if him versus the Fiend is kind of, I mean, I feel like it's kind of too movie-ish per se. Like it's like Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus Predator. It'd be kind of like one of those things. So I don't know how much it would really work. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it. You have to see too is if he has the rights to be able to do that, because maybe
TNA has a trademark on it. You never know.
Yeah, Impact might have the trademark on the Willow character. I mean, the Willow character was a pretty popular character in Impact as the alter ego of Jeff Hardy. You know, I think the whole thing would be definitely fascinating. It would be different. It would be out there. I think for certain situations you can use Willow, kind of like how they do with the Fiend character, kind of like how they do with the Demon and with Finn Balor. So I mean, I'd be interested in it. The thing of it is this. I think Jeff Hardy re-signing, if they could put Jeff Hardy in a creative role, that's totally fine. I think he would be good at it. He's been doing it forever. The key with Jeff Hardy is he just has to stay out of trouble.
Exactly. And
his problem.
If they don't go to Will-O-the-Wisp route, I would really like to see them bring back the charismatic Enigma gimmick and like really go to work on that against the Fiend Bray Wyatt. So if they don't go that route, I'm fine with them building that up.
I mean, look, I don't think they're going to do too much with him. I think my hope is that Vince McMahon has enough respect to Jeff Hardy to let him pick and choose what character he wants to be. Because Vince does it with certain guys. He lets AJ Styles do it. You know, Vince McMahon has trust in certain superstars, and AJ Styles being one of them. I'm kind of curious if they go to the Willow character. I'd be interested. At the same time, my hope too is that, actually not even my hope, I'm just glad they're bringing back Jeff Hardy's old theme song. I think it fits. Excuse me. I think it fits him perfectly as a single superstar, because you're letting him come out to the Hardy Boys song. That's a reminiscent of the Hardy Boys. That's not.
No, it's not. It's not the main. It's not pushing the main focus on Jeff Hardy.
Exactly it. That's the song that everybody remembers for Jeff Hardy is the No More Words song, right? Is that what it's called? I think it's called
No More Words. Yep.
No Words, and that's the route I think they need to go. People have been clamoring for it for a while now for him to bring back that old song, and the song is a really good song, and it fits perfectly with the character as being a singles competitor. Coming out to the Hardy Boys theme song, it doesn't really do anything for me. You know, and him winning the United States Championship a few weeks ago was a little random, I thought. Over AJ Styles, I didn't see a reason as to why AJ Styles had to lose it. But I mean, look, my hope is again, Vince has enough trust in Jeff Hardy to say, "Hey, listen, what do you want to do?" Oh, okay. Well, I think this would be a time for me to go to Willow if I'm fighting AJ Styles or if I'm fighting Sami Zayn. This would be kind of a good idea to do it. Bring it out at certain pay-per-views. Don't make it a weekly thing like what Finn Balor did. That's the route I think they should go with the Willow.
Definitely. That would be a great way to use the character. And I like that they're bringing back I like how they're bringing back No More Words. And Jeff said in the interview he wants to do it when crowds are back. He wants to bring that song back when there are larger crowds.
All right, certain things you do, you wait. Certain things you wait. Like the whole thing with Roman Reigns being heel, you could do that without the crowd because you don't have to have, you don't have to see the little kids' reactions or stuff like that. Like you don't have to see that because I'm sure little kids would be upset that he's a heel, blah 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 blah. Whereas with, you know what I mean. So you get a vibe from people on social media. That's the right way to go about the whole thing. There's certain things you can do when there's no crowd. Roman
Exactly.
Reigns was a good idea. That's a very good way to do it. But, the last thing before we go to break too is, I think if Jeff Hardy brings back that old theme, I think you could let him get a championship run against Roman Reigns. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Not win the belt, not win, but become an opponent for Roman Reigns. I think would be a very good idea, and I think it adds another person in the championship picture that Roman can challenge. That somebody can challenge Roman for it, because you can never have enough challengers on your roster to challenge for the championship. And I think Jeff Hardy as a no more words gimmick, which is what he won the championship belt with, would be ideal. So
definitely, and we haven't seen Jeff Hardy in a championship run in a long time as a singles competitor.
He has the U.S. belt right now. He has the United States Championship belt right now, but I know you're talking about that.
I'm talking about the WWE Championship. We haven't seen him take a run with that belt and go with it.
Yeah, it's been a long time. All right, Alex, the first half is finished. When we come back, of course, Alex has his This Week in Wrestling History. We never even discussed the T-shirts that I have. Before we go to break, I got my Will Ospreay shirt I got up, and then I got my Bullet Club Statue of Liberty shirt. But I have a new addition. If this doesn't look familiar.
Yep, evil Bullet Club shirt.
Bullet Club shirt. So the new addition to my shirt. Craziest, I now have I own a combined 62 wrestling shirts.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, so it's too much. That's for sure. That's definitely too much. We're going to get to This Week in Wrestling History. We're also going to recap Day 1 of the G1 Climax, and we'll preview Day 2 tomorrow, coming up. And, of course, don't forget our finishing move. You're listening to us here on Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Everybody's got a price. Rest in peace.
Welcome back to Off the Mat with Alex Lowe's and Josh Silverberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Off the Mat. I'm Alex Lowe's, here with my co-host Josh Silverberg. And now we are getting into This Week in Wrestling History. This one is New Japan Road to Destruction 2016 Day 10, which took place Monday, September 19th on today's date. Venue is Shiga Prefectural Gymnasium, Otsuchiga. And the attendance was 1,472.
I'm just excited for you to basically pronounce the names of some of these wrestlers. I'm just so excited to hear you pronounce the names.
So the first match was Beretta and Rocky Romero versus Great Bash Heel Toa Hanare and... Oh wait, no, it's not Great Bash Heel. Okay. It's Hanare and Hirai Kawato, which I'd never heard of. Captain New Japan and Yoshitatsu defeated Hiroshi Tenzan and I can't pronounce this name. I'm trying. Taraku. Number 3 is Togi Makabe and Tamaki Hama. Okay, here's a Great Bash heel. Defeats Nakanishi and Raizuki Taguchi. Number 4 is Tamatonga, Tangaloa, and Yujiro Takahashi defeat Gedo, Hiroki Goto, and Tomohiro Ishii in a 6-person tag. Number 5 was Satoshi Kojima and Tiger Mask 4, and Yuji Nagata defeated Bobby Fish, David Finlay, and Kyle O'Reilly in a 6-person tag. Number 6 was Okada, Will Ospreay, and Yoshihashi defeating Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, and Kenny Omega in a 6-person tag. And then number 7 is Bushi and Evil, Sonata, and Tetsuya Naito in the original LIJ, defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi, Juice Robinson, Kushida, and Michael Elgin in an 8-person tag match. So this is a pretty interesting Road to Destruction card here. I'm sorry, I butchered the first half, but it's all right.
Alex, I'm impressed with you. You got some of the names right. I was, usually I'm fine when Alex does his with This Week in Wrestling, but when he said New Japan this week, I went, oh.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but listen, that card seems really legit. I mean, you go back. First off, the Chaos team. It was what was it again? It was Will Ospreay, Okada,
and Yoshihashi
versus Kenny Omega, Chase Owens, and Bad Luck Fale.
Yes, it was the Bullet Club.
It seemed very unfair.
Yeah, they do.
I'm just saying. But no, you hear some guys. You heard Trent Beretta's name. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly were in New Japan at one point. They were. If you go back to, there was a Wrestle Kingdom match. It was Trent Beretta and Ricochet versus the Young Bucks. First Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Versus, I'm trying to remember.
And then it's the most interesting match on this card that I see is definitely LIJ taking on Tanahashi and Kushida. Kushida being in New Japan back then, which is crazy.
Yeah, he was. He was a big deal. Kushida back. He was for the junior division. He was a huge. He had a little. I believe he had a little rivalry with Kenny Omega when Kenny Omega was in the junior division when AJ Styles was running the Bullet Club. So you look back and you see some of these names and you go, oh my God, it's like, and it feels like ages ago because you see where Kushida is now in NXT, and I feel like they haven't utilized him the exact proper way that they should have, and it's really disappointing. So hopefully they can fix that. But look, New Japan. Their popularity started really coming, Alex, when when the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and those guys were together, but two, when Hot Topic bought the rights to the T-shirts. When Hot Topic bought the rights to sell their shirts at Hot Topic, like this Will Ospreay shirt, this was one of the first shirts that Hot Topic got a hold of from New Japan, and I remember I bought it back in 2017, I believe it was. I bought that shirt. 2017, I believe it was. 2017? No, 2018. I want to say. I believe it was 2018. I got this T-shirt. So,
yeah, there's a lot of good names in here, like Great Bash Heel, Hanma, Maccabee, Taguchi.
But Alex, let's remember though, if not for the Bullet Club and not for the T-shirts being sold at Hot Topic, I don't know if New Japan is immortalized as it is today. I think it would be very different. I mean, you used to go into Hot Topic, right? And you used to see look at the shirt you're wearing right now.
Yeah, I actually got this one in Hot Topic. To be honest,
that's the original Bullet Club shirt that was from Hot Topic, and now Hot Topic I don't believe works at New Japan anymore.
No. They mostly have AEW shirts in there now.
It's AEW now.
Yep.
I think it's silly. I think they should still be selling New Japan stuff, but they're not.
No.
But Pro Wrestling Tees also kind of took over. Well, Pro Wrestling Tees made these shirts, and Hot Topic was buying them to sell. So Pro Wrestling Tees has been around for a while. Now Pro Wrestling Tees is the big shirt on campus now. You know what I mean? They're the big shirts that are being sold now. Like, this is from Pro Wrestling Tees. This is from Pro Wrestling Tees. And this is from Pro Wrestling Tees. Your shirt's from Pro Wrestling Tees too, probably, Alex. So, I mean, but if not for Bullet Club and if not for Hot Topic, I don't know if New Japan is where it is today. But, listen.
I agree. I honestly think without Hot Topic merging with New Japan and being able to sell all these shirts in the Hot Topic stores, you probably wouldn't have as many USA fans that US fans that you have today.
And it wasn't even just like I remember when I bought this shirt, the Will Ospreay shirt. Nobody knew who he was.
Wow,
like,
that's crazy.
People were like they kind of knew, but they were like, "Oh, we've heard of him, but we never really seen him." And I said, "Oh." I said, you need to watch this guy. You know what I mean? This guy, you need to check out. He's unbelievable. It's, and look, where we are today now. So thank you, Hot Topic, for that. And Pro Wrestling Tees, of course. All right, Alex, let's get to, speaking of New Japan.
Yep, New Japan, the first night of the G1 Climax 30. It was absolutely great. We had the A block, the first match of the A block. Will Ospreay defeat Yujiro Takahashi. And the standing ovation, even when he was coming out, and even after his match, was unbelievable. The amount of support that Will Ospreay got, the fans were just welcoming him. Seeing the fans welcome him back was incredible.
Yes, it was. It was great to see. It was awesome to check out. And I thought, you know me, Alex, I'm one of the bigger Will Ospreay fans out there. Hence the T-shirt behind me. To me, he's a special guy. He's young, coming up. Of course, the incident happened that was coming out when the speak out stuff. He didn't do anything to anybody, but
No.
basically he was blackballing people out of shows and stuff. He said, which, whatever, that's moved on. We moved past it.
Mhm.
But I think was big to see him back, and it only adds to the roster. And then, of course, Alex, if you don't, I'm just going to announce the next match, and then you can do the rest of them if that's cool with you.
Okay.
To get into this for a quick second, Jeff Cobb losing to Tai Chi, but of course the bigger news is that Jeff Cobb has officially chosen the company he's going to be working for. It was down to NXT, AEW, New Japan, and Ring of Honor. He has chosen New Japan as the company where I believe he could still do a partnership with Ring of Honor, but he has officially, what I read, he has chosen New Japan as his company. He was the biggest free agent on the market at the time, and this is a massive get.
Oh, yeah. It's a big signing. And I'm excited to see Jeff Cobb. I want to see him in matches against Minoru Suzuki, Tomohiro Ishii, mostly the big physical guys, and even Shingo Takagi. 'Cause I really believe those matches would be great to watch and incredible to see.
The first time I saw Jeff Cobb wrestle, Alex, it was at Madison Square Garden in 2019 at the G1 Supercard show at MSG WrestleMania weekend. He was in the opening match with Will Ospreay, and of course I'm a huge Will Ospreay fan. I've mentioned it a billion times already. You might as well take a drink after I mention it. You'll be drunk. But yeah, so I was excited for Will Ospreay. I had no idea who Jeff Cobb was. I had no idea who he was. I knew he was representing Ring of Honor in the match, and then I saw him wrestle, and I went, "Whoa, this guy's a special talent for his size and his ability. Really, really good. Everything like that, and his style, power, but also takes some risks."
Oh yeah, he's not afraid to take risk at all. And
Won the match, and he beat Will Ospreay at the show, and I was so angry, But I think it's a great sign for New Japan. Huge.
It definitely is. And the match he had against Tai Chi, it came to a surprise to me because I did not expect Jeff Cobb to lose his first match back with New Japan, and I thought he would be able to avoid the disaster on the floor with Tai Chi hitting him in the back with that ring hammer, and then just because of his quickness and size alone, you would think he would be able to avoid that. But that was the pivotal point in that matchup, and from there on, it just favored Tai Chi the rest of the way through.
Yeah, for sure. And then you look at it, and Jeff Cobb's been wrestling over in New Japan, but in the U.S. shows, but they got him over here to Japan, which is interesting. I don't think Kenta's in the tournament, is he?
He is. He's in the B block.
Kenta is in the. Oh, that's right. Yes, he is. So it seems like they got everybody back. So that's a big thing.
It definitely is.
So yeah, continue, Alex, with recapping the matches first.
And then after the Jeff Cobb Tai Chi match, the score is for Ospreay. Before that, Ospreay has 2 points. Tai Chi now has 2. And then the match after Tai Chi versus Jeff Cobb, the A block match, Minoru Suzuki defeats Tomohiro Ishii with a 13-minute time limit.
Just A block, B blocks. I'm glad they're doing just the A block one night, B block the next night.
I think that's definitely the way to go, because it's confusing if you have just the A block and B block combined in one match.
It's
one night. It's too much.
Yeah.
So Suzuki has 2 points, Ishii 0. The match after that was Jay White defeating Shingo Takagi in 19 minutes and 28 seconds. Jay came out with 2 points. Shingo came out with 0. And then the final match, Kota Ibushi defeats Okada in 21 minutes and 35 seconds, with Ibushi now scoring 2 points and Okada 0.
I thought it was great. I thought it was an excellent match. And it was expected to be a good match. You know what you're going to get from Ibushi and Okada at this point. They have a rivalry. They know each other really well.
Yeah, they definitely do.
But to see Jay White back was awesome to see as well. That got me excited. So, we'll see.
And they were all really good matches. I liked how Jay White was able to derail Shingo, slow him down, and distract him by using the referee as like a cover and just throwing the referee in front of him. So that's how he was able to take the victory, because he was able to slow down Shingo and really have him lose focus.
Absolutely.
And what I did not like about this show, the only thing I didn't like about it, was how they opened up with a Young Lion match.
They do that every show. They're doing that tomorrow too.
Yeah, I just feel like they should just open up with like the A block matches instead of just having.
But I don't mind it, because it's giving guys opportunity to show what the future holds for New Japan. Like, I don't mind it. I like that they do that. It's kind of like a warm up a little bit. So they're doing it again tomorrow with Yota Tsuchi versus Gabriel Kidd. They're doing it tomorrow, so they're gonna do it. I didn't mind it. They always do the G1 climax really well.
Oh yeah, every year is like outstanding. They always know how to properly book these matches and really have the fans excited and really looking forward to these events. It's amazing to see how far New Japan comes along every year with these G1 climaxes.
Yeah. All right, Alex. So really quick, we have about 4 more minutes left before we go to our finisher, because we're running low on time.
Mm-hmm.
So of course tomorrow, as I said, Yota Tsuchi versus Gabriel Kidd. It's going to open. You got Juice Robinson versus Yoshihashi. So Juice is back.
Yep. And then you have Goto and Kenta.
Yes, Hiroki Goto and Kenta continue their rivalry after they had it at Wrestle Kingdom for the Never Openweight Championship. That was a rivalry that continued really well.
Zack Sabre versus Evil, and then Tanahashi takes on Naito in the last.
You forgot Toru Yano versus Sonata.
Oh yeah, Yano and Sonata are in the middle there.
They're in the middle there, but I'm curious about Zack Sabre and Evil. I'm very curious how that goes. And look, you look at the similarities between the two. It's very close. They're both match style wrestlers. And even Tanahashi and Naito, I'm curious how that goes. I think Naito's going to win, but we'll see. I know I said the B block was more exciting than the A block.
I kind of can see that. I kind of agree with you, because
no, I'm going to go back on that. I think the A block is more exciting.
But for me, I feel like the B block has a lot of potential too. A lot of exciting matches in these events. I'm really looking forward to see how the A block. I want to see how the A block and B block meet in these matches.
B block, I think, has more star power. When you look at some of the stuff that, and you look at some of the matches. The potential, like Jay White, Will Ospreay, Okada, Ibushi.
You got Hiroki Goto.
That's in the A block, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like there's so much star power there. Not that B block doesn't have that with Naito and Evil and Kenta and Sonata, but I think the bigger names are kind of more leaning towards the A block, and the B block has more of the kind of the mid-carders, except for, of course, Naito and Evil and Tanahashi. Maybe if you want to put Kenta, but, we'll see. Look, both blocks are phenomenal.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. It's going to be an interesting couple week. How long does this event run to? Oh wait, it runs. Hold on.
It runs till, I got it. It's going to get to. Let's see when the final is. It goes to October 18th.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks to see how it all unfolds and who really gets to the semifinal and then the actual final. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all comes full circle.
the finals will be in Ryogoku, Japan. So Saturday they're going to have the final of the A, the final of the B, and then pretty much there's no there's no finals for the there's no finals for the G1 Climax, because whoever has the most points in A fights the person with the most points in the B. That's the final. So it's all about points and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about who has the most points and who makes a steady comeback and actually comes back and wins the whole event. Who do you think has the best chance to do that, Josh? Who on the A block and B block right now has the best chance to bounce back?
Ah, man, it's interesting for me. I think the B block, I could see the B block. I'm going to go Kenta.
So you would say Kenta would bounce back and win the whole thing?
I'm gonna say Kenta wins the. Are you saying for who wins the block or who?
Who wins the block?
Yeah. So Kenta, I think, will win the B block. And then I think I'm gonna go Ibushi wins the A block, and I think Kenta wins the whole thing.
Okay, yeah, I definitely could see that happening, because I think when was it the last time they had the G1? Because last year I remember I was watching. I remember very well. I watched the G1 Climax last year, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but someone came back and they won the whole thing, and it was incredible.
I know. Well, Ibushi. It was Ibushi that won it last year. He beat, I believe it was Jay White in the finals. I believe it was to win the G1. But I'm going to go Kenta this year. I think Kenta's going to be in for really a big year. I like to see a little rivalry between him and Naito. So we'll see. All right, Alex, let's get to our finishing move, man. What is yours? And no pronunciation of Japanese wrestlers, right, Alex?
No, it's something else actually. It's something really cool. So, one of the wrestlers that I know that I work with at the ACW and ACW American Combat Wrestling in Newport Richey, Florida. His name's Eli Knight, and he's in a group called Culture Inc. And they travel around to different promotions. Like sometimes they go to WXW. And another time they'll be at ACW, or they'll just go to or they'll go to Sweetwater Pro. So, so my story is, so my friend Eli Knight, he competed on WWE 205 Live this week, so that was very cool to see, and he really did a great job. I honestly think he has so much potential to really rise up and really. I hope to see him be booked in more and more WWE matches in the future, because if he keeps it up, he's definitely going to be a top star.
That's awesome. That's cool to hear and cool to see when your friends are succeeding in the business. For me, my finishing move is just the fact that the G1 has started up again, and I think it's awesome, and I think getting the star power like Kenta, Jay White, Will Ospreay, Juice Robinson, all back in the fold to get Jeff Cobb signed and bring him on. Jeff Cobb was in it last year, don't forget. But to get, hit them back in the fold and make the roster that much more stacked, it just makes it even better for New Japan. It makes it better for, for the wrestling business as a whole. But I think to get a full, healthy roster back in place for New Japan, big deal.
It definitely is a big deal, and I'm looking forward to a lot of these matches, because now we have the top big names in New Japan back. We have Jay White back. We have Kenta back. Who else do we have back? Ospreay. We have Ospreay back. So it's
getting Jeff Cobb in the fold, like I said, big gets. All right, guys. Well. Phenomenal show. Alex, great job as always. And again, please, before we go, we want to remind you, please download our app. It is a free app on the Apple Store. Or if you have an iPhone, go to the Apple Store. If you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store. All you do is just type in Worldwide Sports. Download it. It's free. It has our show schedule. If you missed our show, you can rewatch it. Clips from our show, content as of articles as well. So you definitely want to check that out. And it's got show schedules such as The Wise Guys, the BS Sports Show, the Sports Hit List, Below the Mic, Down to the Wire, the Cage Gym MMA, the Ryan Hickey Show, the New York Jets Show, and other shows that are coming aboard as well soon. So if not just wrestling, it's all different sports all around the country and the world. So you can check that out. Of course, check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope. We are all over the place. Alex, give our deets again on the phone number and the Facebook page and the Twitter page.
Phone number is 727-888-4295. Facebook is Off the Mat WWSRN, and same for Twitter.
Also, type if you want to go on our website, worldwidesportsradio.com. And yes, I did say deets before. I didn't say details. I said deets, which I don't think I've ever used that word in my life. So that's probably the first time. My wife's probably going to go to me after the show and say, did you say deets? So, yeah, I did. Alex, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, man. All the fans out there, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Be safe. Enjoy it. Wear a mask. COVID is still a thing. Be careful. Be smart. And stay safe, like I said. Thanks a lot to all the fans out there. This is Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everybody.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.